exactly 57 card-carrying members of the Communist Party in the Department of Defense at this time.
That was fictional Senator Johnny Iceland doing his best Joe McCarthy act in the film The Manchurian Candidate, the original one, my favorite movie of all time. This week, 4 congressional Republicans did their own best Senator Johnny Iceland impressions, accusing the Council on American-Islamic Relations of trying to infiltrate congressional offices with secret spy interns. The 4 Republicans, Congress members Sue Myrick, John Shadegg, Paul Brown, and Trent Franks, convened a press conference this week to demand that the House Sergeant of Arms, investigate this group, CAIR, because CAIR does things that every other D.C. public relations and advocacy operation does, but they do it while being Muslim. Apparently, these 4 Republicans' major concern stems from a strategy memo in which CAIR states that part of its advocacy plan for this year is to push for more Muslims to be congressional interns. Here's CAIR's alleged secret spy plan. Quote, "We will develop national initiatives such as a lobby day and placing Muslim interns in congressional offices." Not a lobby day, just like every other advocacy group in Washington, and congressional interns too, the way that everyone tries to do that. Since becoming an intern is a good first step toward getting real, better jobs on Capitol Hill, it's sort of a mainstream advocacy group strategy. It's not really a new strategy. It's not really a nefarious one, unless, of course, you happen to pursue this strategy while being Muslim.
About a year ago, I learned that CAIR was trying to infiltrate the offices of members of Congress by placing interns in the offices.
Planting spies in key national security-related congressional offices.
It is unnerving, to say the least, that there would be members of groups catalyzed by CAIR coming into congressional offices to try to change our public policy.
And where did these members of Congress learn about this top secret, scary plan to get Muslims internships in Congress?
Author Paul Sperry and his co-authors' investigative team have unearthed the 2007 memo written by CAIR, which documents their stated intentions and goals to place interns in congressional offices.
The book which Sue referred to, Muslim Mafia, is one in a series of books that I would encourage Americans to read.
I did write the foreword for the book.
I did write the foreword to the book. The book they are promoting is called Muslim Mafia, and it's published by WorldNet Daily. WorldNet Daily, the inadvertently hilarious ultra-conservative website that's becoming a clearinghouse for most of the wackiest conspiracy theories on the far right. President Obama is secretly foreign. Health reform is a secret plot to kill old people. The president's speech to school kids is a secret plan to form a new Hitler Youth. FEMA is really a secret plan to put conservatives in concentration camps. Yeah, WorldNet Daily is the pulsing, throbbing, cuckoo core of all of that stuff, which again would just make them inadvertently hilarious if the Republican Party wasn't paying WorldNet Daily for their email list. And now congressional Republicans are doing the book publicity tour for the latest WorldNet Daily blockbuster cuckoo conspiracy book.
Tomorrow, author and journalist Paul Sperry is going to release his latest book, Muslim Mafia. I did write the foreword for the book.
I did write the foreword to the book. Joining us now is Eugene Robinson, Associate Editor and Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist at The Washington Post. Gene, it's great to see you. Thanks for your time tonight.
Great to be here, Rachel.
Do you think that the secret plot to Islamize America starts with interns?
You know, that's where you want to start. You know, the interns, they're the ones who control the real power on Capitol Hill. You get the interns, and then you've got the whole city, and then you've got the world. This would be funny. Yeah. It actually brings to mind that other great old movie, Dr. Strangelove, and General Jack D. Ripper, and the plot he perceived to sap and purify all our precious bodily fluids. That's kind of the way they sounded. But it's not funny because it's dangerous and bigoted, and you know, as you know, I had my differences with former President George W. Bush, but George Bush, after 9/11, from the beginning, tried to make clear to everyone that the war on terror that he was prepared to wage was not a war against Islam, that it was not. This was not a religious war. This was not a clash of civilizations. Yet WorldNet Daily clearly didn't get the memo, and nor, amazingly, did some members of the U.S. Congress. And this is really scary stuff in that sense.
One of the serious sides of this, it seems to me, is that, I mean, first, obviously, this is bigotry against a group that is a pretty big part of the American population, first of all. But second, this is a group, Muslim Americans are a group that are critical to American law enforcement and intelligence work. America needs American Muslims for counterterrorism against Islamic extremism specifically. I wonder if, in contrast to what you just described about George W. Bush, if you feel like these sort of things hurt our efforts in that regard, even if it is just a few very extreme members of Congress.
Of course it hurts our efforts in those regards. And look, if you're Muslim in America and you hear that, you have to conclude that you're under suspicion, if not under attack, at least from this kind of loony right wing of the Republican Party. And that's not the message we want to be sending, and it's certainly not the way we want to treat American citizens. This is supposed to be the American government. There is no established religion in this country. They made clear in the Bill of Rights that there wasn't going to be an established religion. It's amazing to me that these fundamental principles upon which this country was founded escape our elected representatives in Congress.
Yeah. You know, Gene, after we started working on this story today, it broke that one of CAIR's directors received a faxed death threat pursuant to this today. It said, Muslim Neanderthal Dougie Hooper, apparently some sort of snide nickname for him, will be soon hanged for treason against the United States. And it is one thing to be kooky and threatening and conspiratorial. I wonder if, in real politic terms, if Republican leadership in Congress, given that 4 sitting members of Congress started promoting this conspiratorial theory, if the leadership has to consider whether they have a responsibility to disassociate themselves from this stuff when it immediately evokes threats of violence.
I think when you get to the point of a death threat, for example, and I think the Republican leadership has to take this up, and perhaps the leadership of the House itself, perhaps the Speaker has to say something. Different party, but still, it needs to be made clear that it is not the policy of the United States government or the intention of the U.S. Congress to conduct some sort of a McCarthyite witch hunt against Muslims who might happen to work as interns on Capitol Hill, or who might happen to be lobbyists around town, or who might happen, oh my gracious, to worship in a mosque. This is really as un-American a development as I could think of, almost, and it needs to be addressed. It needs to be denounced and stopped.
Thank you for helping us do that exact thing tonight on this show. Eugene Robinson, Associate Editor and Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist at The Washington Post. Gene, it's always great to see you. Thanks for your time tonight.
Great to be here, Rachel.